and welcome to another episode of Sessions with Coach April. I am one of your hosts, Coach April Hogan.
I'm Cass Wofford.
So, if you've seen some of my past podcasts, you know this is my bestie. So, we actually are going to have a little bit of a special topic today. There was one day that I had a little bit of an epiphany. And when I had the epiphany, of course, the first person I call is my best friend, right, to talk about it. And I feel like we both are on the same page. So there are books that we have read in the past as children that I feel like relate to our lives now, but in a way that you wouldn't think that they would. So, Cass, you want to tell them what book we're going to talk about today?
We are talking about If You Give a Mouse a Cookie.
It sounds like, what?
Right.
What are they doing? Like, they're talking about if you give a mouse a cookie. Yes, we are. So I'm going to have a little bit of a reading session real quick. I just want to, just the first few pages. If you haven't read this before, please go grab it. Try to relate it to your kids because it really does life lessons.
Yeah.
So if you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. So I'm going somewhere with this. When you give him a glass of milk, he'll probably ask for a straw. So we're going to stop there. So for those of us who have actually read the book, we know that this mouse does something over and over and over, right? Like when you give him something, he wants something else. Mm-hmm. And you give him something else and he wants something else. Right. So I'm going to ask just to see if we're kind of on the same page. Okay. When you think of that type of situation, the mouse that wants the cookie, then wants a straw, or a glass of milk, then wants a straw, and you guys, it continues throughout the book. What in your life does that remind you of?
Relationships. All relationships.
Yeah. Not just intimate relationships, although intimate relationships probably one of the biggest.
Yeah.
So I say this to say, like, it kind of feels like, what is her name? Laura Numeroff was going through some stuff when she wrote this book. Like, I can say specifically as someone who's recently divorced, if you give a mouse a cookie, he is gonna want a glass of milk.
And a straw and a napkin.
and to go deeper in the book, it talks about eventually he wants a place to lay down. So I'll just kind of use a little bit of personal without using a little personal. I have a friend. I'm going to say a friend, but she knows that she's more than a friend, who is in a relationship where her mouse wants a cookie. And when I say cookie, you guys, we're not saying subliminal in terms of like sexual or anything like that. We're literally talking about they want something. Opportunist, right? We're talking about opportunists. They want something. And you have boundaries. And those boundaries, once you seem to lift them just a little bit, they tend to consistently want you to lift those boundaries, right? So just like your thoughts on that types of situation. And we're not just talking about relationships. Right. We're also talking about family members. We're talking about friends. We're talking about just anybody in your life that you have any type of relationship with. So when you think of like opportunist, first of all, let's talk about how we kind of identify opportunist.
I identify opportunities as, like she was saying, there's people who, when you set boundaries, they kind of push you to relax those boundaries, right? Because it's not comfortable for them because they want more. So they want to step over that line and see what else they can get. So it's people who will push your boundaries when you say no, but just, give me a little bit though, but this is what I want. But if you love me, you would, but why don't you? Because you're not being, and it's not just relationships, it's work, it's everything. At your job, when you tell your boss, I don't get paid enough for this, but then you're not being a team player.
Right.
Yes, I am. I'm doing what's in the scope of what I get paid for.
Right.
That's me being a part of the team and doing what I'm supposed to do that I get paid to contribute for. But they want you to relax those boundaries. They can give you more with no extra pay, but it's more responsibilities. So that way it makes their job easier. So it's not just relationships.
And not even just a team player. It's like, we'll go above and beyond. Right. Try to make it feel like you have to do. And the one-off is not an issue because I am one that will do some above and beyond stuff. But when it's expected, when I volunteer to go above and beyond because that's what I want to give, opposed to you expecting me to go above and beyond without any type of
Right.
compensation.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's an opportunist,
Yeah.
whether it's a business, whether it's a relationship, right?
Yeah.
So talking about like even going on what you said, like identifying.
Yeah.
So someone who is not only are they asking you to bend
Mm-hmm.
or expecting you to bend, they're okay with you bending.
Right.
It's like someone knowing that, hey, like this is a boundary for me, or hey, I don't want to do this, or whatever that looks like,
Yeah.
and them being okay saying, well, she's just doing it for me, or he's just doing it for me because they care about me, and they clearly know it's a boundary. That's an opportunist.
And not just that, it's also somebody who, once you tell them you're not comfortable with something, they still push you and go, but you can, but you have it though. So why wouldn't you? If you love me, you would. Knowing they're not giving you that same energy in return. If you ask them for the exact same thing, but I don't, but I can't do it. I don't have the cap. Even if they do, but it's I can't because of this. It's all excuses on their end when you ask them for it. But then when they want it from you, they give you every solution to every problem you have as to why you shouldn't do it or you don't want to.
Right. So even in the sense of like when we say, but you can, right? Yeah. I feel like anyone who cares about you understands that a boundary is a boundary.
Yeah.
And sometimes we do bend some boundaries for certain people, right? But if this is the person that you can't look at and see that they are giving as much effort as you give, number one. Number two, if you want me to do something for you that you're not even doing for yourself,
right,
that's a problem. And I tend to say this more in relationships, like you want, or even family, like you want me to let you come live with me, but you're not even providing a home for yourself. Right. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like, and this is this person that I was talking about who is in a relationship with a guy that is like, hey, ooh, you got a place, let me move in. But you don't even have a place for yourself. Oh, you have a car, take me here, let me drive your car. But you don't even have a car for yourself. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that is someone who is taking the opportunity to utilize you for their benefit. Now, there are situations where you may have somebody who's in a situation, and that's different because it tends to be they don't expect it. Right. It becomes an opportunist when somebody expects that from somebody. And then wants to make you feel bad because you're not getting it.
Like, now, we see this a lot with celebrities because, we follow celebrities on like, the Shade Room and stuff. And you see where it say like, so-and-so, this celebrity who's worth millions brought their niece a Honda Accord for their graduation. They were mad because it wasn't a Bentley. And then their first response is, well, you got it, so buy me something nicer. Yeah, I got it because I worked hard for it. You don't have it. So be grateful for what I gave you because I didn't have to do anything.
Right.
So, and I've always said, if I ever win the lottery, I'm never going to tell my family. And not because I don't want them to have any. I'll bless them anonymously. I'm not, because my thought process is, if you know I got millions of dollars out of nowhere, even if I worked hard for it, and I go, here, I'm going to go ahead and give you $150,000. You'll blow through that because she got more. She can give me more if I blow through this. No, I need for you to understand this was a blessing. God laid it upon my heart to bless you with this. I'm not obligated to keep giving you more and supporting you now. Right. Manage it well. This is an opportunity you would never have before.
Right.
Don't squander it.
Right. So while we talk about that, just because this is more of a business podcast, I do want to talk about this on a business level for all of you small to mid-sized business entrepreneurs, right? So I've said it inside of my company, I want to break the norm of family can't work for family. So we actually do really good. Our team, a lot of us are really like, we've known each other before work. But I will say that doesn't work in every situation, right? There are a lot of situations where because you were in a space, oh, well, I can come work for you. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, and those are like opportunists, especially people who are not like, I know what you do, and I know that something that you do, I can benefit you because I have a skill set. Someone who knows that they don't do nothing in even your wheelhouse of what your business does and just wants a job. No. like, because then eventually you're going to have those hard conversations that are difficult to have and may make people mad. So just remembering like to be able to identify if someone only wants to benefit themselves, typically they're opportunists. They're trying to find opportunities. When you meet someone who wants to benefit you as well as, of course, they want to get paid. I want to, but it's not solely because I want to get paid. I know that what I do is a set of skills that will help your company, right? Like I want to be able to help your company. Even a relationship. I'm in the relationship because I know that who I am matches with who you are,
Right.
and I can benefit you as a person, not how can I use you. So there was this guy I saw on Instagram, and a lot of people liked it, but he said something about, well, they say that they're in relationships to use you. You are in a relationship, so you have to make yourself usable, right? Like, you don't get with somebody because they can't benefit you in any kind of way. Well, my issue with that is, yeah, you want somebody compatible,
Right.
but not because they can service a need of yours, because
Right.
when they can no longer service that need, you're no longer compatible.
Right. They're disposable.
Right, exactly. So it should be, instead, I'm with you because I love you, we're compatible, but I also know that in these areas you're weak, so I'm going to.
Right.
But I also know that in these areas I'm weak, so you can also.
Right.
As opposed to, well, I need this person can provide it, and that's it, right? So
because then it becomes you're serving each other versus them just pouring into you and you not offering anything back.
Right. Battling that opportunist, what would be your advice to the person who is either experiences it or is noticing the signs of opportunist?
From a business standpoint, and just speaking because you mentioned it earlier, like especially when it comes to hiring your family, even if it's somebody that is not your family, but you know they're looking for a job and it's just like they want anybody to hire them, so they're like, I'll be whatever you need me to be. Look at your business like your baby. If it's not a person that you would be like, if I die, I'm going to put you in my will to raise my child, don't hire them for your business. Mm-mm. If you wouldn't trust them to take care of your baby, whether it's your business, your actual child, whatever, in the event that you are not there, do not hire them for your business. That's just an ideal way to look at it, because your business is your baby. You pour your everything into it. Don't just trust anybody with it. That's number one. Mm-hmm. But if you're already battling with an opportunist, you're going to have to get out. And it's going to be hard because most opportunists are narcissists. They will try and guilt trip you, gaslight you, all that type of stuff to make you stay, make you feel bad for not feeding into their opportunistic ways. And, you know what I'm saying, just giving your all and pouring into them. You just have to be strong and just cut it off, cut off contact, and just be done with it. There is no easy way to pull away from a gaslighter or opportunist. Mm-hmm. You just have to cut it off.
And if you're questioning if someone is an opportunist because you don't see all the signs, or you're questioning if you see all the signs, and generally that's because you really care about somebody, pull some of it back.
Yeah.
Like, start establishing boundaries and see if they're mad at you for it.
Yeah.
Right? Because someone who cares about you understands that, hey, like, this person has a boundary and I care about how they feel, so we'll work through it. Someone who is automatically mad, and even if they're not mad, but you see them still pushing it. Like, if I say, hey, don't do this, but tomorrow they're trying it again, that's an opportunist. Like, so it may take, hey, like, let me not give them access to this. Like, especially if it's somebody you're not married to.
Yeah.
Access to your time, you don't need to see somebody every day.
Right.
Like, pull away some access. I told a guy that I was dating a while back, because he had this, like, thought in his mind that, oh, well, yeah, I want to see if you're wifey material. You know, when you come hang out at my house, when you're in town, come and you can cook. We can live like we're a real married couple, but we're not. Like,
right.
You want me to come do wifely stuff, but you're not paying my bills.
Right.
And I can pay my own bills, so please don't take it away. But you want me to perform for you, but you're not performing for me.
Right.
You're an opportunist. Like, you're asking me to give something of myself that you have not placed a space on my finger for me to give you, just because you want to play house because it's cool for you. No, I don't know. I don't agree with that. So just kind of watch for those type of things.
And another good way is, you set a boundary and they cross it. Tell them how they hurt you. Because 9 times out of 10, if you go to somebody and say, hey, it hurt me when you did this, if they get angry with you and make excuses and justify why they hurt you, instead of taking accountability and being like, hey, I didn't mean to hurt you. I apologize that I did that. I won't cross that boundary anymore. That's how you know they're opportunists. Because an opportunist will always find a way to justify why they did what they did, and they're going to keep doing it, and they're going to keep taking from you. And if you keep allowing them to, they'll just keep doing it with no remorse.
Right.
If you tell somebody how they hurt you and they don't automatically take accountability and apologize, they're opportunists.
Yeah, and if they try to flip it on you, like it's your fault that they crossed that boundary, then that's another opportunity. That's somebody who doesn't really care about how you feel.
Right.
Now, while we're checking this, don't start pointing at a bunch of opportunists and not looking at the first person in the mirror. Are you an opportunist? Yeah. So how to identify, are you opportunist? Do you do things to self-benefit, or you do things to benefit others, right? Like, is everything for self-benefit? I need to gain this, or I need to have this.
Right.
But you never really consider how you can benefit and help somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Or when you do consider it, it's because you're trying to get on somebody's good side, right? Like,
what are your motives?
Exactly. Yeah. What are your motives for doing the good things, right? Because some people are like, well, I do good things all the time, but why? Yeah. Are you doing it because you just want to do it?
Yeah.
Are you doing it because you're looking for an opportunity, some type of gain?
It's kind of like if you help a homeless person and you're vlogging it for your YouTube channel versus just doing it and nobody knows about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that person is still going to know you did it, but are you wanting other thousands of people who's watching YouTube to validate you and go, oh, you did a good thing? Or are you just doing it because you want to help somebody genuinely, no matter who sees it?
Right, exactly. And I see a lot of that, and it seems sweet, but you didn't took the time to now put the little sad music over it and edit it and all that. Like, that's for views.
Yeah.
And you know, when you go to the Bible, right? Like, it says you already got your reward, right? Because you told everybody praised you already. So you're not doing it for the right reasons, if that's what you're doing it for. And I get, you know, some people's thought pattern is, oh, okay, well, I show people so people can be motivated to do it themselves.
Yeah. And even if we're taking it back to business, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, if everybody's not going to be your customer, right? There might be somebody who might come to you in dire need of something. And if you always go, I charge for my time. I charge for my time. My time is not free. My advice is valuable and it's not free. That person that you might give that free piece of advice to can change your life, and they turn into a lifelong customer who refer other lifelong customers to you. It's not all about making money all the time. Yes, we want to make money to be successful, but sometimes you do genuinely just help people because it's the right thing to do and it's a nice thing to do.
Okay, so I'm going to say something about that too, because I agree and don't agree. So, only because you have those people who pick your brain as a job title.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick your brain. Listen, you're not picking my brain for free. Now, if you need something, like, I will simply, like, somebody asked me today, hey, I'm going through this and I need advice on if I can do this in my business. Oh, absolutely you can. Like, I will give you like that type of stuff. But in terms of you want to have a sit down to pick my brain for free, no.
And see, that's where that discernment comes in of realizing people who always are like, can I pick your brain? Can I ask you a question? Can I this? And then when you go, hey, you can do a consult and it costs this much. Oh, well, never mind. I'll figure it out. Well, you can figure it out every other time.
Right.
You know, that's how you identify somebody who's constantly coming to you to pick your brain for free and never investing into you and your knowledge base versus somebody who is like genuinely, you know, they would help you. So you're just like, yeah, I can answer this question for you real quick. And it helps them. They go about their business.
And it's not always about being able to help me either. It's about just the opportunity for me to do it, right? Yeah. Like, we're having a conversation. I'm going to give out some free knowledge. Like, hey, The difference is when someone says, hey, I want to sit down for an hour of your time for you to tell me how to do everything that I want to do, knowing that you do this as a business. Right. No, I'm not. I'm not. And and not that I never do, because there are people that I establish relationships with that I'm like, hey, I know you need this stuff done. I'm gonna send you an invoice, but it's gonna say paid because I'm gonna write it off, right? Yeah. Like, I will do some pro bono work. That's fine. The difference is, again, too many people will start to like pick your brain to death, and it's like, I need my brain, so no, you're not picking it. Like, right. Like so. And I say that just because there's a lot of entrepreneurs who get used to the free piece, like, and not knowing how to name a price. So I don't want to ever get to a point that I'm saying, hey, like, don't name a price, just give, barter, barter. But you do have to also understand that, and I'll say this, if you don't know, like, some people want to let me sit down and charge you, but you don't even really know how to help me. Right. So, like, I feel like that's why a lot of times, even in my company, I will do free discovery calls. So we'll get on, let me find out what you need first. Like, what is it that you have going on? What are your pain points? How can I assist you? Or you have some people who are like, to sit down and see if I'll be your PR manager, if I'll be whatever, it's $100 consultation. $100 consultation for what? You don't even know if you can help me.
Right.
Like, and I get not wanting to waste people's time, but I also don't want to waste my money.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, some stuff to get business, just like when you advertise, you have to, like, the people who are seeing your advertisements not paying you to see the advertisement, right? So for me to now have a consultation, that's you advertising your ability to help me. So no, I'm not paying $100 for something just to find out that you're either too booked, you don't have the capacity, you don't work on my type of project. Like, then I paid it for what? Like, money is not, I mean, eggs is like $8 a carton right now. Right. So not doing that, you know? And I feel like someone who really cares, they're going to first want to identify, can I even help you?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not going to even take your money if I can't help you. So my
Mhm.
first thing is to even see if I can help you.
Yeah.
Then if I can't, I'm either going to refer you to somebody, or I'm gonna give you some resources that you could possibly use, but I'm not gonna charge you just because I need to discover if I can even help you. Because discovery call is not just, and I feel like I'm yapping. A discovery call is not just for the client. A discovery call is also for the business.
Yeah.
If I'm running a discovery call, I'm not just trying to find out what you need. I'm discovering if I can even help you.
Right.
So consultations like that should not cost anything.
Or if you're my type of client, because you could have something that I could help you do, but you have a nasty attitude, a nasty disposition, you're rude to your staff, and the other things you can hear on a discovery call. If you're in a call and you hear them talking to their staff and they're rude and cussing at their staff, you don't want to work with them like that. So you discover things about them too that they might not just upfront tell you in those discovery calls.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the thing about sessions with Coach April is really supposed to last like 15 to 20 minutes. I haven't had one that lasts that long yet. So we're a little bit over, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to end it with if you want to tell everyone in terms of, and I don't even want to go into how to identify or how to stay away from opportunists. Just like, what is your advice on kind of like self-checking that you're not being an opportunist?
I mean, we all naturally have giving spirits. Just make sure you're doing things from a genuine place.
Mm-hmm.
And you want that same energy reciprocated from others, and you can't always tell. But if you fact check that in yourself and just make sure you're doing things with a good heart and with good intentions, you are strong enough to set those boundaries within yourself. You'll deal with other people.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So just because we haven't got a chance to really talk about it, we're going to take the last couple of 60 seconds. Okay. Tell them who you are and tell them what you do in terms of, I know you're an author. We do some HR, but just fill in them, because they see my stuff all the time. Yeah. But fill them in on who you are.
Okay, so I'm Cass. Yes, I'm an author. Yes, I do HR. I do the HR for A-Rich Innovations. So I can do consults with you to get your processes set up, your SOPs, things like that. I do payroll. So yeah, I'm a motivational speaker. So if you need somebody to come out and speak to HR, to speak to shadow work, mental health, those type of topics, then I'm your girl.
Absolutely. So thank you again for getting on me, you guys. So because she's a big piece of my accountability, you guys will probably see her a lot on this because sometimes I don't be feeling like doing it by myself. I'm just being honest, right? So thank you again for tuning in. We will see you next week on Sessions with Coach April. Bye-bye.